it's important to observe your surroundings. Now, for some of my friends who are going, well, Mr. Flanders, what does observe mean? Well, that means look around, notice things, pay attention to things. It's really important to observe your surroundings. I mean, if I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, if I wasn't observing where I was going, I could easily walk into a desk. I could back up into a wall. Okay? It's incredibly important. You want to make sure you know where you're going. You want to make sure you know where things are. All right? And that's not just for in the classroom. That's where, anywhere in general you're going. If you're going to Walmart, if you're going to McDonald's. I mean, we all know where the play place is at McDonald's, but what about the bathroom? All right? Yeah, see, important stuff, okay? It's really important to observe our surroundings so we know not only where we need to go, but what's around us. Sometimes it keeps us safe. Sometimes it shows us there's something that we really want to go and play with, all right? So join me in just a second as we go over our Day 1 worksheet for social studies, where we talk about the classroom and how observing our surroundings gets us set for the rest of the day and for the rest of life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and look for the exit. I'll see you in a minute. Hello? Where's the door? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Mr. Flanders here. You know that. You just saw me talking. And I am writing my name and the date at the top of my paper. If you are doing this in your paper packet, please do the same. Okay, don't write my name. Make sure you're writing your name. And the date today is 9/8/20. That means it is September 8th, 2020. If you're doing this in Schoology, which is our new computer program, if you're brave enough to use that, then make sure you are typing your name in the blue boxes at the top of the page. Okay, so we were talking a little bit about the classroom just a moment ago, and being able to find things and see how things are set up and whatnot. And so this worksheet today, it's a really, really easy worksheet. It's called This is My Classroom. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this classroom, where people might be sitting, where people, or what people might have in a classroom. It's a really, really brief worksheet, and then you're on your own for it. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. See my classroom. We have desks and chairs. We sit on the floor. We have a board. I made a map. And as you can see, here's the teacher with his students. I really wish this was me and us right now, guys, but we've got to do the best that we can with what we got. And this is the map the person has made of their classroom. Okay? It's a really nice map. Now, the great thing about maps, and we're going to talk more about this later, the great thing about maps is they show us where things go. Okay? We know that each one of these rectangles here is probably where a student goes. It's a student desk. Okay? And we could probably use our imagination to see a board right there, like a classroom board. Okay? So, maps are really cool because they can show us a lot of different things, and I really like what this map is showing us. Let's go ahead and look at the questions, though, and see what they have to ask us. What is in this classroom? Our choices are a stove, a board, or a slide. What? Okay, well, let's take a look at the picture real quick. Do we see a stove? And in case you're wondering what a stove is, that's what you'd see in a kitchen. It's what you boil water on. It's what you cook pancakes on, okay? I don't see any stove in here. I don't think this guy's making pancakes anytime soon. Let me tell you that. All right? Okay. The next choice is a board. Okay? Well, we know from the map that this line right here is probably a board. And if we look at the teacher, behind him is what, everybody? It's a board. And I think that's going to be our answer. And just in case you're like, well, but maybe there's a slide, Mr. Flanders. Maybe there's a slide. I see no slide. Okay, these guys are not going on the playground and sliding into the classroom like, huzzah, I'm ready to learn. It's not happening. So, what is in this classroom? It's a board. And we're going to circle that. And if you're doing this in Schoology, you should have a circle. You could just move right over your choice. Okay? Okay. Number 2. Where can students sit? They can sit on the floor, on the shelf, or on the board. What? Okay, wait a second. Okay, before we get to the answer, let's talk about this last one for a second, on the board. Okay, we know that this is the board right behind the teacher. Can anybody sit on this thing? I mean, maybe Spider-Man or something. Little Jack from The Incredibles, but nobody else is sitting on this because they'd fall right off. That's crazy. Not happening. But let's think about where students can sit. And our choices are on the floor or on the shelf. What I want to do is I want to go back through and read a little bit of our passage here. And maybe we could figure out where the students sit then. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start here at the second sentence. We have desks and chairs. We sit on the floor. Ooh, that's important because we're wondering where they sit. Let's go ahead and underline this if we're at home. We sit on the floor. And our choices are on the floor, on the shelf. We're ignoring this last one because we know that's not going to happen. But where can students sit? Well, we just read, we can sit on the floor. On the floor is one of our answers. That's the one we're going to circle. Okay? And it's important to know these things too, guys. Think about when you come into a classroom. It's really important to pay attention to what's going on around you, where it's safe to sit at, where it's not safe to sit at, where you should put your backpacks, where you should put your pencil box and things like that. Because you don't want to be that person who comes in and sits on a table and then you're like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? This is too silly. We're not sitting on the table. Okay? That's why it's really, really important to make observations about where your surroundings are. It's really important to make observations about what's in your surroundings. Okay? It's really important to see, what in your surrounding area can be used for yourself, what's used for others. Okay? Really important. Got to make sure you're making those observations. You're looking around. You're seeing what is what. Okay? On that note, guys and gals, I'm going to get running. If you are having any issues with this worksheet in Schoology, please let me know. Otherwise, if you have questions, comments, or concerns in general, I'm available over Class Dojo. Other than that, keep up the good work, guys. I really hope you enjoyed your long weekend, and I'll see you in our next lesson. Bye.